Hi, I'm Phillips. In this video, I'm going to show you how to clad a building using LuxeLine's composite cladding from walls and floors. Now this is our old garden shed. It's been built on wheels. It's 2.5 metres in length, 2 metres wide, and it stands 2 metres tall. Now as you can see, we've painted it many a times over the years. However, it's still starting to penetrate some damp in on the inside, both on the walls and the floors. So I decided I needed a different covering to give it a better waterproof finish. So I chose LuxeLine's composite cladding. This comes in a variety of different colours, and it can be used on a variety of different substrates around the home and garden. With this being a wooden surface and exposed to the elements outside, it needs to be able to breathe. Therefore, I'm going to be applying 2 sets of batten, forming a cross batten section, and in between the battens is going to have a breathable membrane. My first layer of battens are going to be fit horizontally. The timber I'm using is reclaimed softwood rough sawn. It's 55mm wide and 38mm deep. The first batten goes almost to the bottom of the shed. I drill a pilot hole into the wood to stop it splitting. This is held into place with 60mm screws. But on a structure like this, you want to drill through your new batten, the cladding, and also the frame of the shed. I'm putting screw fixings in about every 400mm apart. The second batten can now be fitted using the same method, with 400mm intervals between each batten. I'm following the contours of the cladding on my shed, and some of my gaps work out a little bit less than 400mm, but that'll still be fine. The battens create framework that sits underneath your cladding to provide a structural support. The 38mm battens allow air ventilation and unrestricted drainage, just in case any rainwater may penetrate through the cladding. That's my first layer of battens now complete around all 4 sides of my shed. And here at the front you can see I've already taken the doors off and I've continued the batten up along the shape of the roof, and I've closed it in on the opening edges here, because that's what the manufacturers recommend, to apply 2 layers of your batten along the opening edges on doors and windows. Now before I fit my second layer of batten, I'm going to apply a breathable membrane. So I'll drape it around the corner, all the way down one side, the back side, and now the other, bringing it back round to the front. Trim it down to size and pin it into place. Now for a second layer above the top, making sure that this laps over the bottom piece. Using the same method, drape it right the way around all 4 sides of your building, tacking it and cutting it around the door opening. Now the breathable membrane is in position, I can continue with the second layer of battens, using the same size timbers, 55mm by 38. Now these need to be installed at least 600mm apart vertically. This allows plenty of ventilation to get behind both the wooden shed and the back of the cladding to avoid any moisture from building up. So that's my second layer of battens now complete. They've been fixed on top of the membrane and screwed firmly into the battens below to create that cross-form batten effect we need. The next stage is to start fitting the cladding, and my first plank is going to be on the bottom. I'm going to fit these starter clips. Now the composite cladding planks are 2.9 metres in length, 157mm in height and 20mm thick. Now if we look down the side profile here, we have this lip on the bottom edge, and that's where our starter clip clips on, screwed into the batten, and as you can see it will hold the base of your cladding. And then once these are on position, whether they're vertical or horizontally, they'll slip over one another and create a V-groove finish like that. The starter clips come with their own screws. Again, you'll need to drill a pilot hole into the batten and then drive your screw in to hold it into position. Once you've got your first clip fixed into position, you can continue doing the same across all battens vertically, checking the measurements from the ground. Then you can clip on your first cladding plank. Before you screw this into position, get a spirit level and check that it's level. Now you can place your first cladding plank into position, hooking the lip on the back onto the starter clip. check that it's level, and if you're happy with this, drill a clearance or a pilot hole through the top of the cladding into the batten behind, and then drive your screw to hold it securely into position. Make sure you apply screws on every batten. Now I've got my third plank in position, I can start to feel the stability and strength of the structure. Now continue fitting your cladding planks all the way up to the top, using the same method as the lower planks. You may find when you get to the top that you have to do a cut along a full length of a plank. This is best done with a circular saw. Then you can slide the piece into the top groove and hold it into position. Now that's one side done, I'm going to do the same on the back and the opposite side before I turn my attention to the front. Now to cut your cladding planks down, you can either use a handsaw, a circular saw, a jigsaw, or a chop saw. Now as you can see, I've removed my doors. I'm going to be setting these back so they open easier. And I also want to show you the method. If you're doing it around a building and you're going around an open window or a door, you're going to have a recess like this. So what we've got is two pieces of planks here. I'm going to cut these down to size for my front section, which are going to be mounted on there in line with the two sides, of course. And then I've cut some smaller pieces which will go on the return here of the actual opening of the door or the window, whatever you're going around. And once these are fixed into position, they'll be covered with a corner trim. Back to the starting clips along the bottom of the first plank, where I've installed an additional batten below the door for extra strength. This is where the foot traffic will cross. The first plank can be hooked into the starter clip. Now I can start to install my smaller pieces each side of the door, gently tapping the top of them down with a rubber mallet to hold them into position, before screwing them to the battens. Do the same on the opposite side, repeat the process until you reach the top, where you'll need to do some angle cuts to follow the pitch on the roof. Bridge across the top of the door, bringing your planks to meet. Mark and cut further angles using a circular saw and then fit them into position. The door reveals can now be covered using small offcuts of cladding cut down to size and screwed into position. Now all four sides of my shed are cladded. I'm going to turn my attention to these corners, which of course are still open at the moment, and they're going to be covered with an angle bead like this, made out of the same material, but it's about 48mm wide. Now that mounts around the corner, closing off all of those cut edges across there. It can be measured, marked down to size, and then glued and fixed into position. Add a good strong waterproof adhesive to both back edges of your trim. Place across the corner and press into position until it grabs. I'll do this on all four corners of my shed and then cut the edges around the door. I've rehung the doors, and as I mentioned earlier, they're opening inwards because we retain the reveals with the cladding to step it back that way. And as you can see, I'm fitting the planks on here now vertically. Very simple to fit, just like we did on the sides when they were horizontally. We start off here with a starter clip. You put the first panel in, drill your pilot holes, screw them into position, and then interlock them as you go along. For further information on LuxeLine's DIY friendly cladding, head over to the Walls and Floors website, wallsandfloors.co.uk.